Hi! We are Team 25 presenting our project Analyzing and Predicting Performance on the Saber PRO, a data science approach. Zetanet, a technology company that provides telecommunication solutions for enterprises, enlisted our team members Nohora Diaz, Paula Aroca, Santiago Cortés, Eugenia Arrieta, Rafael Deaguas, and Paula Almonacid to work on this project. Higher education has been held as a key force for development and as a fundamental pillar for achieving equality. Through higher education, people should be able to develop the skills necessary to face the demands of the market. However, what if university graduates are not equally acquiring such skills? What if university programs have different levels of quality? What if the disadvantages that students have are big enough that they can't better their skills without the proper support? In Colombia, the Saber PRO standardized test was developed to evaluate the quality of higher education. It assesses math, reading, citizenship, writing, and English skills amongst undergraduates at every higher education institution. The scores of this test become publicly available each year with the idea that institutions can identify vulnerable populations and adjust their education policies accordingly. But raw data alone is not enough for institutions to gain insight. This problem is exacerbated for lower-income institutions that don't have the resources to hire teams to analyze the raw scores. Well, our project was created to solve this problem. We built an interactive dashboard that allows universities and other institutions to easily explore which factors matter the most to student performance on the Saber PRO. In addition, our application lets institutions visualize the results of predictive models to explore how changing some of these factors could affect scores in future exams. With our application, institutions will easily gain insights into which student populations would benefit from targeted interventions. Our data was taken from the Open Data project run by the national government, and it consists of Saber PRO scores of over 990,000 students who took the test between 2016 and 2019. In addition, we know that skills start to build well before college, and we might want to know how the skills you build before college affect your performance on the Saber PRO, which is taken at the end of college. For this reason, we merged our dataset with test results from the Saber 11 test, a university entrance exam taken by all high school seniors and that measures the same skills as the Saber PRO, but before students start university. On screen, you can see the architecture that we built our application on. Suppose that I was a university administrator and I wanted to know how my university is doing relative to others and what things I could do to improve. I would simply go to the application, select my university, select a Saber PRO skill, and then I could see how my university compares, on average, to other universities, to the department, as well as how it ranks. I could also see how well my university does over time, as well as compare academic programs within my university to identify the weakest ones. I could also select an academic program and see how the average score on the test changes over time, and compare how the program is doing relative to the country and the university. I could also explore how the average score changes depending on student characteristics. I might also want to know how the department my university is at performs relative to other departments in Colombia. I could search for my department, select a Saber PRO skill, and then I could see how it compares to the rest of Colombia. It looks like Atlántico, the department my university is at, isn't doing that well. I could also compare universities within the department. This descriptive information can be very useful for institutions to identify areas of improvement. Institutions might also want to know how students will perform on the Saber PRO given their characteristics. Our application allows them, and future test takers to predict their performance on the test. As you can see, the user will be able to input some student characteristics and, at the click of a button, they will see estimated scores of their performance on the Saber PRO. What we just saw was built on a set of random forest regression models with accuracies between 85 and 93%. There were 14 input variables. The models suggest that the most important variables to predict scores on the Saber PRO are related to the student. Good global, math, and English results on the Saber 11 test have a positive impact on Saber PRO scores. The university the student belongs to also matters. The average score obtained by the student's academic program in the last 3 years was important. Other life factors affect the performance on the test, including how much time has passed since the student took the Saber 11. Non-traditional students that pursue an undergraduate degree later in life or students that take a long time to finish their degrees seems to have worse scores. If the student comes from a department located away from their university, the predicted score decreases. Other factors that matter are who helped the student pay for the university and how much they paid each semester. Higher tuitions and receiving help from parents to pay for school have a positive impact on scores. Finally, the mother's education has an impact on the score. The better educated the mother, the better the scores. We can see that creating programs to support students that face these disadvantages would help improve test scores. But individual factors alone miss other things that might be driving score results. Spatial effects might be one important factor that could also influence these results. We ran another type of model, which enables us to inspect the different spatial clusters or groups that can appear in Colombian departments according to their similarity in the Saber PRO performance. If the spatial distribution of the performance on the test was random, then we would not see any clustering of similar values on the map. However, visually, we can see that lighter hues, which represent higher performance on the test, appear at the center of Colombia, and that darker hues, which represent the lower performance on the test, are located at the periphery of the country, for example, in the departments of Chocó, Guainía, and Vaupés. Additionally, the spatial model can also help us visualize the distribution of other important education-related variables all over the country, such as the dropout rate, the number of students, and so on. Therefore, this type of model enables central and state governments to focus and prioritize their development plans, not only on the most disadvantaged departments, but also on the departments that could have a higher impact on the development of their neighbors, through positive externalities and reciprocities. In this sense, our solution allows us to effectively identify which departments represent a neighbor or peer in terms of its similarity in the quality of education. This could make it possible for governments to generate impactful policies that take into account externalities, which could also have a positive influence on different clusters, and improve the quality of education throughout the entire country. From our analysis, we can draw the following conclusions. Our results suggest that the Caribbean region should be prioritized by the government given that performance is significantly lower than the average of the country, and that 26% of the population between the ages of 5 and 16 live in this region. The main variables that have an impact on performance were related to scores obtained in the Saber 11. This suggests that early intervention, before the college years, might be key to helping students take the most advantage out of higher education. This relationship between pre-college opportunities and future performance needs to be further explored. Finally, to improve the performance of their students, universities can give more support to students coming from other regions and to non-traditional students. They can also use our application to go deeper into the data and invite students to predict their expected scores. Feel free to reach out to us for more information. We are excited about the possibilities of using the power of data science to help improve education in Colombia. Thank you.